Hello, this is David from davidcliveprice.com, and this is the podcast edition of this week's eZine number 23, How to Build Successful Cross-Cultural Teams for Asia Business. As business becomes increasingly globalized, cultural intelligence and intercultural competence is becoming an essential strategic tool for cross-border relationship and team building, targeted branding and marketing, risk navigation, and successful negotiations. In this series of culture challenges, I look at each of these aspects in turn, beginning with team building, because they are the bedrock of how companies operate across borders and can have a significant impact on your bottom line. Successful cross-cultural communications build successful cross-border teams. You should therefore avoid sensitive political, social, or religious issues that have the potential to offend your counterparts or hosts or other members of the local team you have assembled. Instead, you should highlight unifying cultural experiences such as a shared sense of humor and a belief in the value of teamwork and cohesiveness. Generally speaking, you should try to implement the principle of diversity and inclusiveness in the way you do business in Asia. As ambassadors both for your companies and for the countries where you originate, you should show cultural sensitivity as soon as you arrive and try to develop a network of trusted business associates and a local team that reflects the country's or region's local diversity. In some provinces or cities, you'll find yourself dealing with more than one ethnic group, as well as expatriates. You will have to find a way of showing sensitivity to the needs of each of these groups. A strong team spirit and work ethic can be developed from such different elements, as well as enduring relationships with the local business network. Westerners who are able to build a reputation of being fair-minded and inclusive will usually succeed in winning people over in Asia business, whereas those with a manipulative or authoritarian or condescending style will damage mutual trust. To succeed in Asia, you must have a team that understands Asia's individual business cultures and can work successfully within those cultures. Your business will depend on the ability of your team to develop effective Guangxi relationships with Asian partners, colleagues, and employees. It is essential you find the right people with good working knowledge of each Asian market and regulatory environment for your business or industry. These people will have to find domestic information sources that relate directly to your business plans. It is not necessary that everybody on your team speaks the local language, but having some local language speakers will definitely benefit you. Many subtleties and nuances of expression can be lost in translation, even if the interpreter is world-class. You will receive a much broader and more immediate understanding of local business issues and conditions if you have local language speakers in your team. Some companies believe a strong expatriate presence in Asia is essential for success. Others send a minimum of expatriates to get their Asian operations up and running. They then try to localize the team as quickly as possible. Whatever strategy you choose, you should have an Asia leadership team that consists of some expatriates, local support staff for these expatriates, and people from your home headquarters to lead and support the Asia market team. This is necessary to avoid misunderstanding and poor communication between the Asia team and your home base. The headquarters backup team needs a basic understanding of how business in Asia works. They do not have to be specialists, but they should be careful not to immediately blame the Asia team if business is initially difficult. The expatriates should also remember that the headquarters team is often dealing with a number of issues that are unrelated to Asia. Many companies cannot afford an in-house Asia specialist. Entrepreneurs and SMEs are likely to rely heavily on experienced Asia lawyers, accountants, due diligence consultants, and other experts to develop their Asia business. However, all companies should have some form of in-house Asia expertise. Asia teams should be trained through executive coaching and high-level courses to understand their targeted markets in depth. They are all culturally diverse, as well as the overall business and cultural environment in the Asia Pacific. I'd love to hear from you if you have tips or comments about doing business in China or in other parts of Asia. You can leave them at my blog, www.davidcliveprice.com/blog. And of course, please subscribe if you want more on-the-ground intel like this. Just add yourself to the subscription box on www.davidcliveprice.com. And you can also subscribe to this podcast on iTunes.